Hey guys, it's George. Welcome to today's video. If you've watched my Stray Kids red lights reaction, that is quite the mouthful, isn't it? You would have heard me say that I wanted to recreate one of the jackets from this MV to wear on a bougie night out in Lisbon, and this is that video. I've made the jacket. I'm not wearing it now. By the way, this is another blazer. Not giving you any sneak peeks, okay? I'm gonna be taking you through the entire process from picking the blazer, pattern cutting, sewing, finishing, the whole shabam. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a future upload. And whilst you're there, give this video a thumbs up. YouTube have also introduced a brand new feature called Super Thanks. This is a way to say thank you and tip your favorite creators. So if you would like to make a donation to my channel, it would be hugely, hugely appreciated. Let's get stuck in to the start of the process. I believe I'm at my dining room table, starting to figure this jacket out. Hey guys, so in the dining room, it's time to kick off this Stray Kids Red Lights jacket project. If you've not seen my reaction, I'll leave it linked in the description box, you can check that out. But I was floored by the jacket in this MV. I've got a bougie night coming up. I'm going back to Lisbon. I might already be there when this video goes up. So I'm gonna be customizing something I already own. This is a jacket I got in a sample sale when I was a fashion buyer a few years ago. It's just like a classic black regular fit blazer. I'm gonna be using this black jacket here. Yeah, this is from a mill called Telegno 1900. Fabric made in Italy, merinos extra fines. This is a merino wool. I really better not fuck this up. So I did actually start this process by trying to sketch what I wanted to do, but it made no sense actually. If you're starting a design from scratch, of course you're gonna start with a sketch, but where I'm actually customizing a jacket I already have, I need to fit the design to the jacket. So sketching it didn't really work out. Also, please bear in mind, I graduated my fashion design degree in 2016, which is like 5 years ago. That's a very depressing thought. And I've not used a sewing machine properly to create a piece of clothing. I've not made a garment, I've not pattern cut, I've not cut fabric, I've not done anything. As soon as that final garment for my graduate collection was made, didn't go near it, okay? So I'm hoping it's gonna be like riding a bike, you know, like you never forget. So we shall find out. Okay, maybe ignore the fact that I'm in gym shorts with a blazer, but we move. So this is the blazer on. You can see that it fits me really nicely across my shoulders. It gives me that really nice square shape without it being like too big. And then when I wrap this jacket, how it's gonna wrap, you can see that the neck pieces come in to the same kind of position as Hyunjin's and Bang Chan's. And then what I plan to do is to extend this piece so it wraps, and then do the same on this side. So it should work out well. So what I did is I put the jacket on, I wrapped it around me like I did earlier where I showed you that position, and then I worked out where it hits my waist, made marks there, the kind of angle I wanted for it to come up to under the arm, and then I just joined those lines up with a really soft pencil. So what I'm gonna do is get the shape I want, try it on, and then from there I'll probably mark up seam allowance, which is 1 centimeter, and then I'll probably start to take the jacket apart. Scary. I mean, it's not really, I know I'm not gonna fuck it up. Self-confidence. Do it, it's gonna look sick. It's gonna look fucking great. So the plan is to extend this piece this way and the underneath piece so it wraps, and then you can see the break, which is starting here. I need to push up higher, so I'll be extending this from here and then pressing that back, so it'll look like that. So I flipped the jacket over. I'm not going to mark up both sides. We want the back to be symmetrical, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out my shape, and then when I cut out the fabric, I'll use that panel to reflect it onto this side to make sure it is symmetrical. And then Bang Chan's in the video, the back of his, it wrapped over like this. So this piece came up over this side, but where I'm recreating it from this blazer, I can't do that as it will affect the width on the shoulders. What I'm going to do is keep this center back seam intact and then just have the arch shape coming down from there. I've measured down about 8 centimeters from the back neck point because that is a nice distance on myself. So as you'll be able to see now, that second line just below it here, this is my seam allowance. So this is where I will cut, because then I can use that to stitch and fold back under. So this section here is going to get cut and removed, and then the same with this section here. Cut and removed. We're going to lose the pockets. I don't want the pockets on here, that's absolutely fine. And then the same on the back section. Everything here is going to get removed. Flip this over, create the shape, cut and removed. And then with these panels of excess fabric, that's what we're going to use to create the wrap. Is this fun for you to watch? Like watching me unpick jacket lining? Because when you're a fashion student or like a fashion intern and you spend your day unpicking clothes, it is honestly the most painful thing ever. And I would not recommend doing it with scissors, but you've got to make the most of your resources. This is the thing, when you start to turn it inside out, it does get a bit confusing. I'm literally like, what is this? So I've turned the jacket inside out. I've not pulled it through perfectly because I'm just doing this to open up the back seam. So what I'm going to do is just unpick the back seam open and then leave it there for today, and then next time we'll pick it up. So just switching to a voiceover, excuse the dressing gown. You can see what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting away the excess panels that we don't need, and I'm just following that seam allowance line that I drew in earlier. And here I'm using that panel that I cut out to create the symmetrical shape on the other side, and I'm adding the seam allowance and now cutting that away, making sure that we've got exactly the same shape. This was quite tricky. Now I'm just following that line around the front, so we're just left with the shape that we wanted. Now I'm cutting the lining. What I've done is I've just laid the jacket flat and I've cut the lining longer than the body, so I have excess fabric to play with. There was no real precision to this, if I'm honest. With the excess panels of fabric, I'm using this to create the wrap shape. I didn't want to buy any excess fabric. I wanted it all to be the same. So luckily enough, there was enough fabric. So I've measured it out, I've got my width, and I'm just creating panels with my tailor's chalk and my pattern cutter, making sure that they're all straight. And then here I am cutting them out. This was kind of annoying, but you got to do what you got to do, making the most of the fabric that I have. I'm just doing exactly the same on the front panel, and what I did here is where the jacket had that curve, which you can see here, that is the end of the wrap, so it still has that jacket kind of shape to it. Wise plan from me, I think. I mean, is this interesting for you to watch me cutting? Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. So now we're starting to sew. What I've done here is I've pinned all of these pieces of fabric together, and I've put that rounded piece at the end, and I'm just going down all of them with 1 centimeter seam allowance, back tacking at the start and the stop, making sure to take my pins out as I'm going. Don't want to damage my machine. And then I'm doing exactly the same with the lining pieces. I'm using the same measurements, I'm cutting out exactly the same panels, and then this will be the inside of that wrap. This is quite annoying. As I said, if you had a big strip of fabric, you would literally have one pattern piece for this, but where I'm using what I have, it was like little panels, as you can see here. Also my tracksuit, lol. And now I'm just sewing these together, following exactly what I did before, 1 centimeter seam allowance, back tacking. What I'm doing here is bagging out the main fabric and the lining fabric, so this will then turn inside out and create my wrap pieces to create that belt. And then I'm putting quite a lot of pins in the curve just to make sure that it's really laying flat and the fabric is taut. And this is me sewing it, bagging it out, the lining and the main fabric together. And then when I get to the end here, I'm leaving the needle in the fabric so I can pivot it around and get the correct seam allowance before continuing around that curve, just making sure that it's really, really precise because I want this to be sharp. Now I'm just snipping away the seam allowance. When I pull it through, it's sharper. And now I'm pressing it. I'm using my thumb and my forefingers to roll it and then press it so the fabric is in the correct position and create those sharp edges. This was very painful. I did burn my fingers a few times, but obviously I've cut that out because who wants to see that? Now I'm just top stitching it to make sure the fabric stays flat and it stays in the correct position. Now that I've got my wrap pieces attached, I'm pressing the fabric in the back up to get the sharp line. This was quite fiddly, especially where it met in the back. And then here I am, I'm pinning the lining and those back pieces together. So then I'm gonna top stitch this, which you can see that I'm doing here. This isn't how you would like traditionally do it when it comes to tailoring, but I had to because I couldn't turn the jacket inside out properly to finish it, but you can't really see it. It's black thread on black fabric and it is a contemporary cut jacket, so no qualms, it did exactly what it needed to do. Just before I try the jacket on and show the final result, I do need to give you a warning. Something very typical happened. I must have bad karma. I must have done something bad in a previous life, but I got bitten right in the middle of my back by some nasty fucking insects. So I do have a red bite in the middle of my back. Very ideal when you're about to be wearing a backless fucking jacket. I'm not impressed, but we move. There's nothing I can do about it. So please do excuse that. It's not cute. So I'm just talking into my phone for audio because I can't really add a lapel mic to this right now. I think overall it has a really nice shape. Bang Chan's had the wrap over, but like I said in the video, I wouldn't be able to make the back pieces wrap over without affecting the silhouette of the jacket itself. I really like it. It's obviously comfortable. There's like no fabric to wear or make you feel uncomfortable. Again, apologies for the bite. I just feel like really snatched in it. I feel a bit strange having my like stomach out. I can't really say I've ever worn anything with my stomach out before. So this is a first and this is going on the internet. So yeah. Okay, so here we are. This is tied slightly differently. You can see it covers more of my stomach. It's kind of tied the same in the back, but the knot is now over on my right-hand side. And then I've put it on with a pair of combat trousers and my military boots. I think I prefer it like this, to be honest. What do you guys think? Do you prefer it with the wide leg or do you prefer it with the combat trousers? I think I might wear this on my bougie night, to be honest, this way. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It is something completely different for me. I've never made a video of me making / sewing anything before, so please let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments. It was definitely a fun one for me to create. What you should do next is go check out my previous video. I'll leave a card in the top screen here as well as a link in the description box. But thank you so much for watching and a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. You are fucking amazing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.